Hare Astuto Sat.
This divine grace. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Ananta Vaishnava. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Friends, they go Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivedanta ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dhama ki jai. Shri Mayapur Dhama ki jai. Shri Dwarka Dhama ki jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dhama ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Tulsi Maharani ki jai. Samaveda Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled. All glories to the assembled. All glories to the assembled. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Yeah, it's good. It's not very too close to me. Nice Kirtan.
Thank you.
Jaya Radha Madhava.
introduction to Duryodhana Guru. Many of you probably know Duryodhana Guru Prabhu is famous for his work in editing as a Sanskrit editor for Srila Prabhupada. So, but there's a lot of little things that people don't know, and because he's very humble and doesn't say it as well. But you know, in terms of in ISKCON, there's a tradition of people teaching each other Mridanga, you know. And Duryodhana Guru, I believe, is one of the pioneers, if not the pioneer of that process of developing teaching. So if you've ever been taught by anyone to play Mridanga, you owe some gratitude. So sometimes people don't realize like who they're with, you know, and then when they pass, like recently one devotee passed, then the only people ask, oh, what was it like? You were in class, you know, what was it? So this is a good opportunity to pay attention. So thank you. Thank you, Duryodhana.
Thank you kindly. You glorify me a little too much, but Is this a Balaram Mridanga? Do you know?
No, that's not it.
That's not Balaram.
No. That's Madhuram Mridanga.
Okay. Do you remember Balaram Mridanga? I don't know if it's even available now, is it? No more.
It is
Well,
in my
it was made out of, what you call it? Carbon fiber, some kind of fiber.
yeah, fiber glass.
So I wrote the book on the Balaram Mridanga back, let me see now, 50 years ago. When the Mridangas came out, the book came out, and a little cassette, back then we were using cassette tapes, also came out to go with the book and the Mridanga. That was a long time ago. Krishna's grace. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Hare Krishna. Swagatam, you're very welcome. Of course, if you know me at all, you know I'm very, very optimistic as to what I'm going to say here today. Good luck in getting through that. So we are here to honor and most especially thank Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's in the middle of the deities. Janu Lamita Bujao, Ganaka Vatato, Sankirtana Kapitaro, Kamalaya Taksho, Vishvambaro Jitavaro, Yugadharma Palo, Vande Jagat Priyakarao, Karuna Vataro. Translation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu. That's Nityananda to the left of Chaitanya, who's in the middle, whose long arms extend to their knees. They have splendid golden complexions, and they inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Their eyes resemble the petals of lotus flowers. They are the maintainers of the worlds and the best of the Brahmins, the protectors of religious principles for this age, the protectors of Dharma. They bring happiness to the people of the world and are the most merciful of all incarnations. Why? Let's find out. Here's another verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, Namne Gaura Trishe Nama. What does it mean? O most munificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself, appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani. You are widely distributing pure love of God, pure love of Krishna. We offer you our respectful obeisances. This is from Prabhupada, my guru. Krishna descends to this planet once in a day of Brahma. Every 8,600,000,000 solar years. Our years. Solar years means our years. 8,600,000,000. How are you at math, my friends? From the beginning of Brahma's day for 4,320,000,000 years, 6 manus or manvantaras appear and disappear before Lord Krishna appears. These are the ones that are controlling pretty much everything in the universe to make sure it all unfolds according to plan. Manus or manvantaras. Thus, 1,970,320,000 years of the day of Brahma elapse, go past, before the appearance of Lord Krishna. That means that when Krishna appears, as he did 5,000 years ago, in Dvapara Yuga, the Bronze Age, that half of a Brahma's day is finished. Right? So it's noon, according to Brahman's day. Right? So then right after that Dvapara Yuga, when Krishna appears, in Kali Yuga, immediately after the Iron Age, the one we're in now, Chaitanya appears. That's when they both appear, right in the middle of the entire 14 Manvantaras and half of Brahma's day. Okay. So it says, then Lord Chaitanya appears in Kali Yuga of the same Divya Yuga. A Divya Yuga is a combination of those four. Gold, silver, gold being Satya Yuga, silver being, what is it? Treta Yuga, bronze being Dwapara Yuga, and iron is Kali Yuga. Okay. All right. In the Atharva Veda, it says, in the seventh Manvantara, in the beginning of Kali Yuga, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, accompanied by his own associates, will descend in a golden form to the earth. He will teach the chanting of his own names, of Krishna's names. And then there's another quote from the Atharva Veda, I will descend to the earth after the passage of 4,000 years in the Kali Yuga. And before the passage of 5,000 years, I will appear on the earth on the bank of the Ganga. I will be a tall and saintly Brahmin devotee. I will have all the auspicious symptoms of an exalted person. He's God. And I will exhibit renunciation. I will have all auspicious signs. What does he mean by signs? On the palm, on the soles of the feet, and the whole physiognomy, or the signs of samudrika. How to look at people and read them. You know? So I will have all auspicious signs. I will be a devotee practicing bhakti yoga. I will taste the rasa of my own devotional service. What is the purpose of Chaitanya's incarnation? To experience Radha Bhav and to spread love of God to the fallen souls in Kali Yuga. Radha Bhav. The bhava is the love or the emotional feeling, the bhakti feeling that Radha has for Krishna. That Krishna's consort Radha feels for him. So that's what we're doing here. That's the goal. This is another famous verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopam Gaspra Parshadam Yagyais and Kirtana Prayar Yajantihi Sumeda Saha. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons will perform the congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. That's what we did a few minutes ago. Although his complexion is not blackish, as Krishna's is, he is Krishna himself. Although he has the nature of Krishna, he is the color of light. He's golden. He's accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Ooh. You're familiar with Ram Leela? Lord Ram, Sita Ram, when he came, why did they come? In the different yugas? Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya chadushkritam. To protect the sadhus, the good people, the holy people, the devotees, vinashaya chadushkritam, and to eliminate the bad people, the negative people. Okay? Yeah, where was I? The pastimes of the Lord are supreme in all respects. Oh yeah, this one I forgot to tell you. So, Chaitanya comes with his associates and his weapons. Ram had weapons. The bow, the arrows, etc. Krishna came, and Ram came in Treta Yuga, that was 2 million years ago. And Krishna came 5,000 years ago in Dwapara Yuga. Krishna and Balaram, his older brother, both manifestations of the Godhead, also used weapons and killed a lot of demons that were taking up space on the planet that we don't really need. That's what they did. So now it's that Chaitanya has come with his weapons. What's his weapon? His main weapon?
What do you mean?
Harinam. It's Harinam. There's no weapon. It's the sound of Krishna's names. It's that simple. Okay. The pastimes of the Lord are supreme in all respects. Wherever the Lord desires to fight, he becomes the topmost hero, and no one can surpass him in his prowess with weapons. Like Ram, like Krishna, like Balaram, like Lakshman. Yeah. Whenever the Lord desires to manifest conjugal pastimes, intimate pastimes, he manifests millions of beautiful women. Why? Because he's God. Whenever the Lord desires to enjoy opulence, he manifested 16,000 palaces in Dwarka. Could you manifest one and keep your little wife happy in that palace? Is the question. Never mind 16,000. That's a challenge. And he did it. How did he do it? He manifested himself in each palace. That's how he did it. So, if you want to have more than one wife, my friends, then you need to be able to expand yourself into more than one form. Otherwise, you gotta be careful. Okay. And he manifests 16,000 palaces in Dwarka, or he fills his servants' homes with unbelievable wealth, such as he did for Sudama Vipra, his old school friend, who was a very poor, humble Brahmin. Have you read about Sudama Vipra? Anybody? Yeah. And he came in, Sudama went to visit Krishna, and he brought some chipped rice. In fact, he had to borrow it from the neighbor. He didn't even have any food. And he gave it to him, and he's like as thin can be. His clothes are all tattered and old, and And he didn't ask for anything. And then he said, "Thank you, Lord. Thank you for looking after me and taking care of me and allowing me to see you." Because they were school chums together, school friends. Then when he got home, his place was transformed into a beautiful, beautiful palace. And his wife was thrilled, let me tell you. Okay. Similarly, when Chaitanya accepted the path of sannyas, the level of renunciation and devotion that he manifested could not be matched throughout the three worlds. Okay. Initially, now I'm going to get to these different parts when he appeared, etc. I haven't got there yet, but initially the Brahmins in West Bengal. He appeared in Nadia, which is an area in West Bengal. I can't think of it. Navadvip, and in the town of Mayapur. So this is all West Bengal, 500 years ago. The Brahmins initially, even though he was a Brahmin, the Brahmins are priests, they're part of the intelligentsia, and they look after the people spiritually, essentially. The Brahmins looked down on Chaitanya and the Vaishnavas, the worshippers of Vishnu, and rejected them as sentimentalists. Oh, you're just chanting and dancing. You're just a bunch of sentimentalists. You have no philosophy. Quite the contrary. Chaitanya preached that the highest class, or Varna, was not the Brahmins, but the Krishna Bhaktas, servants of God. Initially, he had hundreds of thousands of lower class followers, a few thousand among the higher classes. Same thing happened with Prabhupada. Prabhupada had tried for quite some time, while he was still in India, to begin an organization called the League of Devotees. And he was trying to spread the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the congregational chanting Hare Sankirtan in India to begin with. Did it take? Did it work? No, it didn't. So he had to go among the lower class followers. So he came to where I live. Well, he came to North America. He came to New York. And did the people take it there? Oh, yes. Why did we take it? We were all in our 20s. Not everybody, but teens, 20s, maybe 30s. We were all very, very young. But we weren't satisfied with being materialists at that time. It was the 60s, it's a famous time. And we wanted to know something more about our spiritual nature and something of greater meaning, rather than just having a house and a family, which is fine. But this is what we wanted. We strongly desired a spiritual life, or a spiritual dimension to our lives. And that's what Prabhupada delivered. Chaitanya preached that service is paramount over a position of authority or self-importance. Sometimes the Brahmins are self-important because of their status in society at the head of the society. People, when they have high status or high accomplishments in our society, then they think arrogance sometimes seeps in, and look at me and look how important I am, look what I've achieved, you are all beneath me, this kind of thing. That is all a product of ego. If you're actually in true self, if you're acting like a soul, like you should be, then you would not fall prey to that. If you fall prey to that from time to time, then you must learn not to. Prabhupada made a nice, wonderful statement. I often repeat this. Years ago, when he was here, he said, materialistic people want to manipulate and control everyone and everything. He said, we, as spiritual people, we want to serve everyone and everything. It is far easier to serve than it is to manipulate and control. So if you're coming from the position of service, you're behaving like a soul, like a jiva, like an atma. And if you're coming from the point of view of wanting to control everybody or thinking you're better than everybody, you're coming from ego. Simple. Chaitanya preached that service is paramount. Okay, I said that. Humility is more important than pride. Trinadapi sunichena torora iva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadam. This is a verse that Chaitanya wrote. One can chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking himself lower than the straw in the street. One should be as tolerant as the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the names of the Lord constantly. That's the translation of that verse. Chaitanya would weep out of compassion when he was told of the misdeeds of a sinner. His companions thought his heart would break out of concern for the suffering soul. How compassionate are you? Prabhupada was so compassionate. I mean, I can't even approach that. And he used to always quote, Paradukha Dukhi. This is related to Prahlad Maharaj. Paradukha Dukhi. I suffer to see the suffering of others. That's what it means. I don't know if some of you are up to that level. I'm not quite there yet myself, to be honest, but that's a very evolved position to be in, genuinely. Okay. On the one hand, he expressed the love of Radha for Krishna, selfless, unconditional, without personal motive, all-consuming, and eternal. On the other, he expressed a love of Radha as the divine mother for suffering humanity. Are we suffering in our world? Any suffering going on? Well, the missiles are flying. The missiles are flying everywhere. I mean, we can't even, we want to go to India. We stop off in Dubai, don't we? No, I don't know now. It's getting pretty crazy, pretty dangerous. Chaitanya petitioned Nitai to help him release his debt to humanity by saving them from sin and bestowing upon them unconditional love and redemption. So Chaitanya is an incarnation of Krishna Tattva and Radha Shakti combined. He is Bhakta Rupa, the form of devotion. Nityananda, he's left of Chaitanya. He is God as Guru. Bhakta Swarup. Advaita, the older gentleman on the left, is the incarnation of Vishnu Tattva and Shiva Tattva. He is Bhakta Rupa. Gadadhar is next to Chaitanya to the right, is the embodiment of love. Hladani Shakti. He's male, but he's Hladani Shakti. Srivas is on the far right. He is a jiva, like we are, a soul. And he is the incarnation of the devotee. Now, I'm excited to tell you this. Today is Trayodasi, in terms of the Tithi. The Tithi is the lunar date, the moon calendar. Trayodasi means the 13th. Tomorrow is Chaturdashi, the 14th. Tuesday is Gaura Purnima, the full moon, when Chaitanya appeared 500 years ago. Now, what is so special about that? I'll tell you what's special about that this time around. When Chaitanya appeared, he appeared just after sunset, as the moon rose over the eastern horizon. Full moon, yeah. And it was an eclipse. So the two planets that cause eclipse are either Rahu or Ketu. Rahu is the north node of the moon. Ketu is the south node of the moon. If we look up to the heavens, can we see these planets? Are they celestial bodies? No. They are technically astronomical points of demarcation. However, when there's an eclipse, supposing this is the sun or the moon, and during the eclipse, which I'm sure you've all seen, you see the shadow cross across the sun or the moon, right? That's Rahu or Ketu. If you calculate that astronomically, astrologically, at that point in time, you will see either Rahu or Ketu. So this is what happened. Chaitanya, Ketu was there with crossing over the moon. And what we do in Vedic India, when there's an eclipse, they all go into a body of water, like the Ganga, or the ocean, or any kind of body of water, up to the waist. And for the duration of the eclipse, which typically takes place over a period of about 4 or 5 hours, usually, and they chant, and they pray, and that's what's done. That is, you're trying to, because an eclipse is a negative, typically. It's a negative circumstance, it's not positive. So because it's a negative circumstance, because one of the luminaries has been blocked, that's why we pray or make sacrifice. That's essentially what we're doing. And the other thing you do is you give in charity. And if you don't have the wealth to give in charity, you give in charity in your mind, in your meditation. Oh, well, that's not going to work. I mean, I can't give away 10,000 cows, and I can't give away gold and silver and beautiful clothing. Yeah, you can. In your mind, you can. To whom? Who do we give to? To worthy people, or to the deity. Yeah. So, where was Chaitanya's? I'm giving you a little astrology here because this is worth hearing about. So Chaitanya's ascendant, his rising sign, in his birth chart. I've been doing astrology, Vedic astrology, Jyotish now for 49 years. So I've had some experience with it. I've got clients from 56 countries and long ago. So it was a Leo ascendant. Leo was on the ascendant, the eastern horizon, Singha, Leo. The moon was on the eastern horizon, and Ketu was on the eastern horizon. And all three of them, the ascendant, the moon, and Ketu, were in the constellation, the nakshatra of Purva Falguni. Okay, that's a nakshatra. In Vedic, we don't use the names of the constellations according to the Greek names. No. This goes back way, way longer than the Greek names. They were all in that same constellation. Well, guess what, my friends? What do you think's happening on Tuesday? A total eclipse of the moon. Just like when Chaitanya was here. In what sign? In Leo. Just like when Chaitanya was here. Oh, but what nakshatra? What constellation? Purva Falguni. Just like Chaitanya. Do you think that happens every year? Oh, absolutely not, my friends. This is what's happening. Tuesday. Purnima, full moon. Now, it is a total eclipse of the moon, and it is what they call a blood moon. Okay? We will not see it here. It is visible in Asia, Australia, and North America. Yeah, well, who's just gone into war? The U.S. Yeah? That eclipse should accelerate what's going on there with war. That's not a good thing. Okay? So that's what's happening. So you may wonder, this is the last total lunar eclipse until December 31st of 2028 into January 1st of 2029. It'll be a New Year's blood moon eclipse. This is the last time that's going to happen. So how rare is what's going to happen on Tuesday on Bhagavad Purnima? So what does it mean? Pray and chant even more. That's what it means. Now, we're not really affected by it because it's not visible here. If you cannot see it, you will not be affected by it. That's how it works. Unless you're flying to Asia tomorrow. Australia. Okay. How we doing? So when Chaitanya appeared in India, in West Bengal, 500 years ago, at that time in that area called Nadia, a Muslim government had overthrown an established Bengali government, because the Muslims had invaded. When the Muslims invade, they want to destroy everything. Everything. They don't want any remnants of your culture, of your beliefs, of your religion, of your temples, of anything. I mean, they couldn't destroy it all because it's too much. But that's their attitude. Wipe it all out and make everybody a Mohammedan. Back then they called them Mohammedans. Okay, so they had overthrown the established Bengali government, and in many ways it was a state of anarchy at the time. And there were bands of mercenaries and criminals and dacoits. Dacoits are, well, criminals. You know, people who cause problems. We got them here too, naturally. Roaming around unchecked and preying upon the populace, preying upon innocent people. That's typically what these people do. Do they not? They do. They, you know, there was a guy that got killed here recently. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So Jaga and Madhai, who were born Brahmins, they led such a group of dacoits or criminals. They were well-known tantrics. So rather than practicing, how shall I say it, higher forms of spiritual practice, they were performing tantric. I don't want to say that tantric is all negative, because it isn't. But tantric can go very dark, and tantric can be a product of the mode of ignorance. Just Thomas. Okay. Many Brahmins had taken to the path of Tantra, or also known as the left-hand path, in order to cope with the violence of the Muslim Mughal invasions from the north. These dacoits indulged in meat eating, drinking wine, unrestricted sex, and even murder. That's what was going on there. They looked down on the Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas are devotees of Vishnu, as we are. It's too gentle, too weak, too sensitive, and too refined. Any kind of qualities like that just means you're weak. That's how they looked at it. Respectable citizens, and what to speak of Brahmins, doing Harinam Sankirtan, congregational chanting in a public place, had never before been witnessed. No one had seen it. This is the first time anybody did that in a public place. And it was shocking. You know, and they thought, oh, these are a bunch of sentimentalists. They don't know any philosophy. They don't know anything. Okay. Gauranga tells why he descends. Why did he come? Revealing the purpose of his incarnation to all his eternal associates, Chaitanya said, in every age, I appear in the material world to deliver the saints, the good people, the people of good character, and to reestablish religion, dharma. Without understanding the purpose of my advent, the ignorant people continue to commit sinful activities. It hurts me that after Satya Yuga, sinful activities gradually increase with the progress of the 4 ages, or the 4 seasons, according to how it's divided in the universe. Seeing the appalling condition of Kali Yuga, I feel compassionate and personally incarnate in order to manifest my love. Here he says, now, without considering anything else, everyone just come with me and we'll destroy the sinful activities of the age of Kali with the powerful acts of Nam Sankirtan, chanting of the holy names. I'll cut the hard knots of demoniac desires from the hearts of everyone. Even if the sinners reject dharma or spiritual practice or flee to foreign countries, still they will get the mercy. I will send more Senapati Bhakta to go there and deliver them. So he says, even if they flee to foreign countries, I will send somebody there. Well, who came? Chaitanya said when he was here that his name would be known and chanted in every town and village in the world. How are we doing with that? It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Yeah, I mean, there's a few places. When I joined and gave my service and my pranam to Prabhupada, there was a few hundred of us. Then over time, it became a few thousand, and now there are millions throughout the world. So he says, I will send more Senapati Bhakta. More in Bengali means mine. Senapati means the military field commander, the guy in charge. And Bhakta means devotee. Well, a few people, a handful of people, 2 or 3, had come from India to the US, to the West, and tried to establish Bhakti Yoga. Did it work? No. When did it work? When Prabhupada came. Prabhupada is the Senapati Bhakta. Because no one has had the effect that he has had. Not even close. I will inundate the entire universe with my love, says Chaitanya. Not a pinch of misery or lamentation will remain. Wow, that's a bold statement. I will freely give my ecstatic love to the demigods and all moving and non-moving living beings on whatever planet you're on. Well, we're here. And he said that this phase would last for how long? You know? 10,000 years. So how many years have passed? 500. That means consciousness, conscious awareness, and spiritual practice, the path of virtue, will expand and continue for another 9,500 years. Now, I myself won't be here that long, but some of you'll be here longer than me. Okay. Okay, let's read this. Thinking in this way, this is now at the time of Chaitanya's appearance. Jagannath Mishra, who was Chaitanya's, was the father of Chaitanya, Jagannath Mishra, and his wife was Shachi Devi. Jagannath Mishra in his previous life was who? Nanda Maharaj, Krishna's father. And who was Shachi Devi? She was Yashoda Mai, Mother Yashoda. Krishna's, these are foster parents for Krishna. They had, the two of them, Jagannath Mishra and his wife, begot 8 daughters initially. 8 daughters. And they were born and they all died. remember when Krishna was the 8th child of Devaki, and he would be the end of Kamsa, who was a cruel and ruthless king at that time, having stolen or usurped the throne from his, I don't know, was his father, grandfather, I'm not sure. Anyway, then in the month of Magh, January of the year 1406, Shak era, Krishna entered the bodies of both Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Devi. Thereafter, Jagannath informed his wife, quote, I see many wonderful things. Your body seems to be effulgent, and it appears as if the goddess of fortune is personally residing in our house. Wherever I go, everyone offers me respect, and even without asking, they give me money, cloth, and grains. Just by looking at it, just give it. Sachi replied, I also see wonderfully brilliant beings appearing in the sky as if offering prayers. Now, when you were coming out of the womb, was any of that happening, my friends? Because it wasn't when I came out, at least as far as I know. There's no reports of it. But it's God taking birth. Jagannath Mishra then said, in a dream I saw the effulgent abode of the Supreme Lord enter into my heart. Then from my heart it entered your heart, he said to his wife. And thus I can understand that a great personality will soon be born. After this conversation, both husband and wife felt very jubilant. And they were celebrating. And with great care and attention, they rendered service unto the household, Shalagram Shila. They had Shalagram Shila on their altar that they were worshiping. However, when Sachimata's pregnancy approached the 13th month, when they say the 13th month, they mean what? Lunar months, not solar months. Yeah? You know the difference, yeah? Lunar months of 28 days. And there was still no sign of delivery. Jagannath Mishra became very apprehensive because what had happened? He had already lost 8 children, all girls. At that time, Nilambar Chakravarti, I think that was Chaitanya's grandfather, no? Pretty sure. Made an astrological calculation, because he was a Jyotishi, an astrologer, and predicted that the child would be born that very month, taking advantage of an auspicious moment. Thinking in this way, relax, my friend. Calm down. You're disturbing us. Just take it easy. Take a breath. Let go. Let go, buddy. Thinking in this way, Ketu covered the full moon, as we just explained. And so all of the Hindus went into the Ganges River, to bathe and chant the names of Krishna and Hare. While the Hindus were thus vibrating the holy names of the Lord, the Mohammedans jokingly imitated them. In this way, at the time of Chaitanya's appearance, everyone was engaged in chanting the holy names, including the Muslims, who were simply making fun of them. But the holy names are transcendental, so you're still getting the benefit. They didn't realize that was actually backfiring on them. It's funny. Okay. That's what happened. When he was born, because of the eclipse, it caused everybody to go into the water, as I mentioned, and start chanting and praying and offering whatever they're offering in their minds, in their hearts. And so this is the avatar who's coming down to spread the value of the holy name. So everybody's chanting when he arrives for the sake of the eclipse. Okay. Namakaran. You know the Namakaran? Yeah? The giving of the name up to the child when the child is born, right? It's one of the Dashavida Samskar, one of the Samskars. They're like sacraments they would have here, you know, same idea. It's a purificatory ceremony, which is done at various times in life, as we know. On the day of the name-giving ceremony, Nilambar Chakravarti arrived again, I could know his grandfather, while other learned scholars and friends also assembled, as did numerous ladies. Everyone talked about what name the child should be given. After considering all the points, the scholars concluded that there was one appropriate name. They said, as soon as this child was born, famine ended in the land, and the farmers were blessed with long-awaited rain. So that also happened when Chaitanya was born. In this way, healthy and happy conditions returned to the land due to the birth of Sri Chaitanya. This is very similar to how Lord Narayan had previously rescued the earth in his many incarnations. Yeah? Dasharavatar, 10 incarnations. Thus it was concluded that his name should be Vishvambar, the sustainer of the world. Beautiful. The name Nimai, which was favored by the ladies, was given as the Lord's second name. Why? Because he was born under the neem tree in Mayapur. If you go, have you visited Mayapur, my friends? I have several times. And then that neem tree is there. It's still growing there. I suggest you visit. It's a very, very beautiful, very spiritual place. Okay. So the ladies wanted to call him Nimai, which was favored by the ladies, a nickname, you know. The name was given at an auspicious moment, while the Brahmins loudly read from Bhagavad-gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, or they chanted Vedic mantra. The assembled demigods and humans offered their blessings. Now, the demigods would be not obvious. They would be in what I'm looking for. What word? They wouldn't be anyway.
Disguised.
Disguised. Thank you. Good. The assembled demigods and humans offered their blessings, accompanied by the blowing of the conch shells and ringing of bells. Then you know how they give a child at a certain age, which now Karna, I don't know, you would have been 1 or 2 years old, something like this. And then they put out the books, rice, gold and silver. We did this for my youngest granddaughter back in last September. She's 2 years old. And we also put out a little toy bow and arrow, you know, and Kshatriya. So this is Brahman Kshatriya, like this. So what happened with Chaitanya? They encouraged him, go, choose something. Sri Jagannath Mishra encouraged his son, saying, my dear Vishvambar, take whatever your heart desires. Sachi Devi's son passed by all the other articles and picked up the what? The Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad-gita, and embraced it, held it close to his heart. Everyone was impressed and said, he will surely be a great scholar. Well, he was the greatest of the scholars. He was Shrutidhar. You know Shrutidhar? You hear something once, or you read it once, that's it. You have it for the rest of your life. You never forget it. How many Shrutidhars do we have here in this room? Boy, I'll tell you, that's one thing I always wanted in my life. If I could remember everything I have read, I'll tell you, I'd be a happy soul. As it is, I'm still a happy soul. Okay. You will become a great scholar. And what happened to my little granddaughter? She picked a bow and arrow. She's a fiery little thing, 2 years old. Okay. Once in his childhood, he was decorated with gold ornaments, you know, valuable things. And he was in the courtyard of his house. Of course, those of you coming from India, you know what that means. You want to have a courtyard in your house. That's proper vastu. We all know that, yeah. That's the, okay. So he was playing, entertaining himself, and two thieves happened to pass by. And said, "Oh, look at this child! Look at all the gold and silver on him." And okay, let's get him to come over here. Let's entice him. So they got some sweets, and they enticed him with sweets. That usually works for most of us. And then they took him upon their shoulders, and they ran off with him to the forest. I think it says here. To a place where no one would know. And we'll steal the jewelry and we'll abandon him there, you know. So it says, Chaitanya utilized his illusory energy to bewilder them. That wouldn't take much to bewilder them, I don't think. So that's what he did. As a result, the thieves unknowingly brought Nimai right back to Jagannath Mishra's house, his own house, and dropped him off in the courtyard where they found him, thinking that they had taken him somewhere else entirely, right? And in the meantime, the neighbors and Jagannath Mishra and his wife were all busily searching for the lost child. The thieves, being afraid of detection, hastily put the Lord down and ran away. Thereafter, when baby Nimai was once again delivered to the arms of his anxious mother, everybody was happy. So they tried to fool God. It didn't work. Jagannath Mishra passed on. Well, wait, before he passed on, Chaitanya had an older brother named Vishvambar, yeah. And his mother, Vishvambar's mother and father, same as Chaitanya, decided, you know, it was time to find him a suitable match, to get married. And that didn't sound very good for Vishvambar. He wouldn't, I don't know how much older he was. Does anybody know? He probably would have been in his teenage years, I would say, back then, you know, because people who got married or betrothed very young. You know, I mean, Prabhupada got betrothed at what age? You know, it was very young. Very young. That was the system back then. Anyway, so as soon as Vishvambar found out that he was going to be married off, he disappeared. He disappeared and he went on Tirtha Yatra. He went on pilgrimage to all the holy places. And he took sannyas, ashram, and no one ever saw him again. Very detached. Sometime after, Jagannath Mishra, the father, passed away from the mortal world and went back to the transcendental realm. Why would he go back to the transcendental realm? Well, if you're somebody with whom God wants to take birth in your family, you'll be going back to the transcendental realm too, I'm sure. So Chaitanya married, let me read this part. In this way, the Lord decided to marry. Why did he decide to do that? Because his mother lost her husband, and she lost her oldest son, who ran off and became a sannyasi, and he wanted to get married Chaitanya so that her mind would be at ease, at peace. In this way, the Lord decided to marry. Then one day, while coming back from school, he happened to see the daughter of Vallabhacharya, who was on her way to the Ganga. By meeting again, their relationship was reawakened, and coincidentally, the marriage maker, Vanamali, came to see Shachimata. The marriage maker just happened to be there, conveniently. This Brahmin, Vanamali Ghatak, a resident of Navadvip, was formerly Vishvamitra in Ram Leela. Who got Ram and all his brothers married? Vishvamitra, correct? Who arranged the marriage of Lord Ramachandra. And then the Brahmin messenger, he was also the Brahmin messenger who negotiated the marriage of Lord Krishna with who? Rukmini. Remember Rukmini sent the Brahmin to come and give the message to Krishna. This was like the day, 1 or 2 days before she was supposed to be married to Shishupal. She, I don't want to marry him, you know. I just want to marry Krishna. And that's what he did. He went and gave the message. And in the message, Rukmini had written, how did she say it? That which is meant for the lion should not be given to the jackal. That's what she said. So the lion is Krishna, and the jackal is Shishupal. So this is the same person. So he arranged the marriage of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with Lakshmi Devi. So at some point, Chaitanya went to East Bengal, now known as Bangladesh, and he was teaching there. By this time he was a scholar. I mean, the best, the top most scholar. He was such a scholar to such an extent that he began teaching his fellow students at the age of 16. He could, especially Sanskrit. And then from there he started teaching people chanting Hare Krishna or Sankirtan, Hare Sankirtan. Yeah. So he went to do this in East Bengal, spread the good word. And he's talking to Tapan Mishra, who was a great devotee in East Bengal. He said, Chaitanya said, in Kali Yuga there's no need for the performance. This is Kali Yuga, don't forget. There's no need for the performance of severe austerities or opulent sacrifices. Whoever worships the Supreme Lord will meet with all success. Go back home and worship Lord Krishna with unflinching faith and determination, giving up all false pretensions. You know what that means, false pretensions? Thinking you're this and you're that, I can do this and I can do that. That which is a product of ego, like we said earlier. Act like a soul. When? Always. Not like an ego. Giving up all false pretensions. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, you will simultaneously fulfill life's ultimate goal and the means to obtain it, which is to get off the wheel of samsara, repeated birth and death, and go back to the spiritual world and live with God like we're meant to. Yeah? Just read this, just recently I read in the 10th canto of the Bhagavad, and it's a beautiful verse. And it says, if at the time of death, at the time of your death, you must be compos mentis, you must have your wits about you. You must have clear thinking. It's very important. If you don't want to be in a coma, you don't want to be injected with so many drugs you can't think straight, or you keep falling asleep. No. Awake. Only. And at the time of death, if you think of Krishna for a kshana, you know what a kshana is?
A second.
A moment. A brief moment. All of your sins will be removed, all your sinful reactions, everything will be struck off, and you'll go back to the spiritual world. But you must do that. You can say, yeah, but I lived my life, and I didn't do this, and I should have done that. I didn't. At the very last moment, you can get a reprieve by thinking of God at the time of death. And don't be wailing and moaning about your loved ones. That's not going to work. Oh, I just wish I could have. Give her a body. I'm going to miss you so much. Well, give them a body. You can come back. How many times have you been here? Thousands. Are you getting weary yet? I'm getting weary. Lakshmi, this Lakshmi that we just talked about, that Chaitanya married, was just coming, they sent her down from Swarga temporarily to work through some stuff. I can't remember the details of it, I won't look it up, it's in here somewhere. And she was so overwhelmed by the fact that Chaitanya was in East Bengal, and she didn't have her husband. And it says she was bit by the snake of separation. And if you look at Chaitanya's birth chart, if he has Ketu on the ascendant, then opposite the ascendant is the 7th house. If the ascendant is the eastern horizon, the 7th house is the western horizon. The 7th house is the marital partner. And if you got Rahu on your ascendant, Ketu on your ascendant, as we said, and Rahu in the 7th house, what is Rahu? Isn't he the serpent? The head of the serpent, Ketu the tail. She got bitten by his snake, and she died. That's what happened. Then, sometime later, he married another Lakshmi, who brought tremendous wealth to the family. He had 2 marriages. Okay, I have to end it here, so I only got 20 pages here. So there won't be time. And most of you are going to leave about time. This is great. I just want to get to the last page so I can close it out for you. Now, where does that leave us? You know Dhruva? Maharaj, Dhruva, the boy, he was 5 years old. He was meant to take the throne, and then his father was pushing him away because the other boy's mother, younger sibling, was the father's favorite, was the king's favorite. And Dhruva went and meditated, and he turned everything around. Not only did he get the kingdom, but he got missionary's grace, divine grace. So what did Dhruva have? What did Gajendra have any knowledge when he was in the grip of the crocodile around his ankle? This is the elephant, Gajendra. No. He got a liberation. Did Kubja, the hunchback, who gave Krishna, what did she give? Sandalwood, was it? Sandalwood fish. Did Kubja possess bodily beauty? No. She was blessed. Did Sudama have vast riches? Sudama Viprus? No. He was blessed. Did Vidura have a high birth? No. Vidura was born from a Shudra and somebody else. Vidura was the wisest guy at the time. He's just wonderful. The brother of Dhritarashtra. No matter what Vidura told him, Dhritarashtra couldn't do it. He just couldn't. Anyway, so Vidura got liberation. Did the king of the Yadus, Ugrasen, have valor? No. He got defeated by Kans and lost his kingdom. He got liberation, Ugrasen. The Supreme Lord, Madhava, is conquered only by what? Loving devotion. Bhakti. We are all searching for love, my friends. That's what we want more than anything. We want to love and we want to be loved. We want to be seen. We want to be recognized. We want to be acknowledged. Do you know me? Can you see me? Do you know how I feel? That's who we want to be around and be with. All of our relationships here, no offense, are substitutes for the eternal relationship that we're all looking for, we're all wanting. They're substitutes. How do we know? Because they come to an end. How many people do you know that their relationship ends? Your marriage breaks up, or this happens or that happens. And then ultimately, one of you dies. And that for sure brings it to an end. I don't want her to die. My wife's a bit younger than me. I tell her, I'm going to be here for another 10 years. She says, no, you'll be here for 20. Yeah, well, who knows? She's already, telling me, no, don't think 20 years. In 20 years. These are substitute relationships. One, what we're looking for is love of God. And that's what Chaitanya has come to bring us. All we got to do is chant. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you for your kind attention. Any questions? Oh, I went long, didn't I? I'm not going to ask for forgiveness. Anybody?
Yes, I just like to add when you said Vishwambar Prabhu left Mayapur when he heard that Sachimata, they're going to marry him.
Yeah.
So when he left Mayapur, he's come to Pandharpur. It is mentioned in Chaitanya.
He came to where?
Pandharpur.
Pandharpur.
Yes. So he come to Pandharpur and he got initiation there. And from Vishwambar, he's coming like Vishwarup. His initiative name is Vishwarup.
Yeah, Vishwambar was Chaitanya's name.
Yeah, but his older brother's name?
Vishwarup.
Vishwarup.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he come in Pandharpur, he got initiated and he took Samadhi there.
Yeah.
Still that place is there in Pandharpur.
Where is it?
Just beside the ISKCON temple.
Maharashtra.
In the Maharashtra.
Maharashtra. Oh, okay.
Prabhu is from Pandharpur.
It is mentioned in the Chaitanya.
Yeah, well, I probably read it, but I've forgotten it.
So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come from Bengal to Pandharpur to find him.
And of course, I didn't even discuss this past time. When he was walking through the jungle. And all the animals, natural enemies, were chanting and dancing, and wherever Chaitanya went, like 100,000 people would come. He was so attractive that people could not resist. Just to get a glimpse, just to see his face. His beauty was overwhelming, unlike anybody. Well, so is Krishna's, so is Nityananda's. Any expansion of Godhead. It's the best of the best of the best. In what category? Pick your category, doesn't matter. If you look at the birth charts, oh, here I go again. Huh? If you look at the birth charts, we have birth charts of Krishna, of, no, I don't have Balaram. We have Arjuna, we have Yudhishthir, we have Ram, we have various we have Chaitanya, we have manifestations of the Godhead. If you have, you know what an exalted planet is? Uch. When a planet is Uch, exalted, as powerful as it can be that only in one sign out of 12. This is the best karma you can have. Okay? Like you had the sun in Aries, the sun would be Uch, exalted. Very powerful, right? The average human being, how many exalted planets? 0. Maybe 1, sometimes 2. If you got 3, you're a special human being. I met many. Now you have to realize it. It's not just on a piece of paper. You have to fulfill it. You have to live it, manifest it. But then if you go to 4 exalted planets, 5 exalted planets, plus a few more planets in their own sign, now you've got manifestations of the devas and the gods and God. That's how you can see, even in Jyotish, you can see. So there you go, my friends. Okay? Thank you for your kind attention. Hare Krishna. Jai Gaura Hari. Jai.
So next we have God Aarti. We request everybody to please stand up for the Aarti. So the people who are doing decoration would request you to go help the showdown and then come back after the Aarti, please. After the Aarti.
श्री श्री पंचतत्व की शिव जय जय गौरा चंदे आरती प्रशोभा Krishna जय ओम श्रीपाद परमांश प्रकटाचार्य स्वतः श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम श्रीपाद परमहंस प्रकटाचार्य स्वतः श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती महाराज की नाम आचार्य हरदास ठाकुर की गौर किशोरदास बाबा महाराज की स्वर्गो सुमो प्रभु वृंद की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की द्वारकापुर धाम की अयोध्यापुर धाम की जगन्नाथपुर धाम की मायापुर धाम की पंढरपुर धाम की श्री श्री विठल कुल भगवान की गंगा माय की जमुना माय की कावेरी नर्मदा सिंधु की चंद्रभागा मैया की वृंददेव भक्ति देव तुलसी महारानी की सामवेद भक्त वृंद की ISKCON Dublin भक्त वृंद की। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द सुबह, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द सुबह, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द सुबह, ऑल ग्लोरी ऑल ग्लोरी गुरु एंड गौरंगा जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की।
So we'll also for Narsam. श्री श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। नमस्ते नरसिंहाय, नमस्ते नरसिंहाय, नमस्ते नरसिंहाय, नमस्ते नरसिंहाय।
लक्ष्मीपति श्री नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, भक्त शिरोमणि श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की, जय गौर प्रेमानंदे।
So we all requested to go downstairs for prasadam now. We'll need the hall for decoration for Gaur-Purnima. So we might have Kirtan, but probably after 1 or 2 hours, if you want to stay back. So that's it for the decoration. उसके बाद Kirtan चलेगा। Prasad पाओगे।
How much is the flowers? How much it costs? You're looking like a very
Camera.